So if you've been paying attention to the Red Wings and their transactions the past few days, you might have noticed a weird trend with one specific guy, that in which we've been talking about a lot this season as a member of the Wings and the Griffins. It's Jakub Vrana, Czech winger who had been removed from the Red Wings roster to join the NHL's player assistance program, only to get back onto the Red Wings, get sent down on waivers, clear waivers, play in Grand Rapids, have the rumors about him never playing in Detroit again, only to have him play in Detroit again a few days ago. He was recalled to the Wings a while ago. He was scratched for a little bit before making his return to the lineup, playing his third game in the NHL season against the Washington Capitals. A very poetic game for him to return in the winged wheel. Now, sure, he didn't get any points, but he looked good. And he actually had a few moments in the game where he was showing off his puck skills, showing off the shooting ability, the talent that he has at getting the puck on net, and just his overall play was solid enough to justify keeping him in the lineup. He was a very capable player who was still adept to the NHL game. And just to reiterate, this was a really good thing to see because just a few weeks ago we had a bunch of rumors saying that Vrana had played his last game with the Red Wings, he was going to get traded soon, he would get bought out. We didn't know why this was the case, we didn't know if it was the Red Wings themselves who didn't see anything in Vrana anymore or who just wanted him off the team for other reasons. We didn't really know for sure. And so when Vrana was called back and he played well, we all said, yeah, that is a very positive development in this story. But yesterday we had ourselves some very intriguing news, as Vrana's name was removed from the Red Wings roster on their website. And then you had yourselves Cap Friendly, who went out there and tweeted out that Vrana had been sent down to the Grand Rapids Griffins. This was a short-lived return to the NHL for Vrana, and a lot of people said, okay, I mean, if there is something the Red Wings are not showing us that they feel is worthy to send Vrana down and not have him as a main part of their team, then okay. Trust the Yzer plan, right? We just hope that for Vrana's sake he's able to find himself an NHL home sometime later on another team, whether it's via a trade to another team or he gets bought out and signed there. Because if the Red Wings don't want him here, then okay, what are you going to do about that? Like, sure, he's good, but if the Wings don't want him, then the Wings don't want him. But then you had yourselves even more ideas floating around as to why this was even the case in the first place, why the Wings went out there and actually sent him down. Here's what Frank Seravalli had to say on Twitter regarding the entire ordeal. Take a look at this. My understanding is this move isn't just being made to accrue additional cap space, but to reduce the number of days on the roster before waivers might be required again. And that's a very intriguing way to look at it. This is sort of a move that we don't really see too often done in the NHL, where a guy gets sent up and down repeatedly for the sake of keeping that waiver wire eligibility. The Grindline Pod, by the way, shout out to those guys, I was on their show a few weeks ago, was very good. They quote-tweeted the Frank Seravalli tweet saying this, that's even more confusing. You're reclaiming a day? He gets 30 days or 10 games before he'll have to clear waivers again, and from what I gather, he'll be in the lineup tomorrow. So weird. Seravalli then replied to this tweet saying 30 days on the roster, quote-unquote. So, taking him off the roster for just 1 day today, when there is no game, reduces the number of days. It just gives them added flexibility. And sure enough, if you look at the AHL's transactions on their website, Jakub Vrana was indeed called back up to the Wings today, and he's listed on today's game sheet as the Wings are going to take on the Rangers. It was really only 24 hours of NHL time wherein Vrana was not on the team, and this allowed the Red Wings to save 1 day's worth of Vrana being on the team before he's required to go through waivers once again. It's very particular, and it's not really something that you'll see a lot, but Steve Yzerman is doing this in such a way where he's giving himself the most flexibility possible. Here's what Ryan Hanna from the Wing Wheeled Pod ended up saying yesterday. An additional point on Vrana being sent down is that he doesn't have to clear waivers, and how this move ultimately opens up more flexibility once the full roster is factored in, especially close to the deadline. Included is an excerpt from the Cap Friendly website. Exemptions. A player does not need to pass through waivers if the player has not been on the NHL active roster for a cumulative 30 days since last clearing waivers or has not played in 10 or more NHL games. And so, Vrana has only played 3 NHL games this season, 2 of them before his player's assistant stint, and 1 of them a few days ago. He has been on the roster for a cumulative, I don't really know the number, but it's one fewer than it really should be because he was sent down yesterday for all of yesterday, pretty much. He's back on the team today, and Steve Yzerman is really proving to us that he knows so much more about the NHL and its inner workings than we do, because none of us would have looked at this and said, oh, yeah, okay, they're setting Vrana down because they want to free up another day on his NHL eligibility before he requires waivers again. Yeah, easy. Very easy to see. We had to have a whole bunch of insiders pointing it out to us saying, okay, yeah, no, this is the rule in the CBA. That's why they're doing it. Now, when it comes to the why behind the why, like why is it even a thing, bringing him up only to send him down, etc., this is what Elliot Friedman said on the Jeff Merrick show earlier today. They said essentially that Vrana playing was absolutely a showcase. The Wings wanted to see who came to see him. Vrana says that teams may believe that Detroit would incentivize taking Vrana with retained cap, etc. He says that Carolina, New Jersey, and Dallas were noted. This is also from Ryan Hanna. He tweeted out the excerpt from the Merrick show, or the Jeff Merrick show, excuse me. So big shout out over to Ryan, of course. And there also was another thing that I wanted to talk about too, Vrana and the payments. This was a very interesting little tidbit of information that I don't think really gets talked about all too much. Vrana was sent back to the AHL yesterday and recalled today. The move saves a day for the Wings of keeping Vrana waiver exempt. For Vrana, he actually made more money being on the AHL roster for a day because he wasn't subject to escrow for that day. And so not only do the Wings benefit from having Vrana be a little bit more flexible with his waiver eligibility timeline, but Vrana actually gets more money. Weird how that works, right? I mean, AHL, of course, he's on a one-way deal, so he gets paid the same amount of money whether he's in the NHL or the AHL, but with escrow included, I guess that's no longer the case. And so, for me, sitting here thinking about the way the Wings have handled him so far, I'm sort of starting to wonder, when the Wings don't have any games, are you going to see Vrana going down and up and down and up and down and up until he gets that 10-game played mark in the NHL for this season and ultimately is eligible for waivers again? Are they just going to keep on recycling this process over and over so that they're able to free up some more days and delay the inevitability that Vrana does require waivers once more? Plus, you're giving Vrana some more incentive to do this because he's going to get paid more money too. There really is like no loser in this situation, and I feel like the Wings would have it in their best interest to just kind of repeat this process over and over again until Vrana's waiver eligibility comes back with 10 games played. Or if you're able to extend it long enough, maybe just keep this 30 days thing going long enough that you really just fulfill the eligibility that way. I'm not really too sure what the plan here is, but there really does seem to be a process that the Wings have found that works with making this Vrana situation easier on themselves. So you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. The Wings do play the Rangers later today, and Vrana is supposed to be in the lineup, at least according to the game sheet he's supposed to be. But yeah, let me know your thoughts about the Wings sending him down, only to call him back up. We might see this again soon, we might not, who really knows, but I do have a question for you as well. Did it scare you yesterday, seeing Vrana get sent down to the Grand Rapids Griffins once more? Not even really scared, but what was your opinion on that? Did you see that and was like, oh, great, like, we knew this was coming, or, oh, why are they doing that? He was good the other day against Washington. Why are they sending him back down? It's kind of pointless to do that. They want to make the playoffs, don't they? Why keep him down in the AHL when he's actually doing pretty all right? Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Rolls 99, and bye.